Alright, what's up guys? So, it's quite cold out again. It did warm up a little bit. It actually got in the 50s at one point. But right now, the wind chill feels like it's -1, so we're right back to those temperatures again. Not like the -20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s like we were, but it's still below zero, so yeah. But this is episode 3 of Real Paranormal Stories. So, the first episode I talked about kind of like a big paranormal experience that happened to Carly, and then the second episode I talked about episode that happened to my significant other and what happened to her. So this time I'm going to say what happened to there's pretty rare times where it is just because usually everybody's schedule is either one or the other. It's either we're all together or I'm FaceTiming with Jamie, Carly, Marie, and my significant other, or kind of like switched. But usually it's very, very rare that it's just myself, Matt, Mike, Jennifer, and Sarah. But there was this one night that we were all together. We were all just talking and all that stuff. And this experience technically didn't happen on FaceTime. Technically this didn't happen on FaceTime or Skype or anything like that, because it happened right after we turned it off, because everybody was starting to get a little bit tired. But we did turn it back on just so they could ask me if it could be anything. But so we were FaceTiming for about 2-3 hours. We were already getting tired, so we decided to turn it off. Around a minute or two later, after everybody was starting to get settled, about to go to sleep, all of a sudden there was this, I have no idea how to describe it, but it was this low, it felt like a stomach growl, something like that. And at first, because basically it's Matt and Mike's room, and then across the way is Jennifer and Sarah's room. And the house only really needs 2 bedrooms, because Jennifer and Sarah are together, so they're only going to sleep in one. Matt and Mike are together, so they're only going to sleep in one room. So, but there's 4 rooms total. The other 2 rooms, one's downstairs, and then one is way down the hall. So, I think I may have told one story about their house, so this is another story. But at first, Jennifer thought that Sarah's stomach was like growling, like that's what she thought. And then they thought that it was their dog, because they have 3 dogs in the house. So you have Cookie, Gizmo, and Spike. So you have their 3 dogs, Cookie, Gizmo, and Spike. It's crazy that I've had a Gizmo in my life, my significant other has a Gizmo in her life, and then Matt and Mike also have Gizmo in life. I have no idea that Gizmo was a popular name, but I guess it is. I also have a Cookie, and they have a Cookie. I don't have a Spike, but we do have a Cookie. So I thought that was one of the dogs, but the dogs was like snoring and stuff. But so it wasn't any of that. So they got up, and at first I thought that maybe it was the pipes because it was cold. Maybe it was like making a sound. So I didn't really think much about it. But then it happened then just before Jennifer was going to lay back down. It happened again. So gets up. They ask each other again, "Hey, is stomach problem?" They're like, "No." dogs sleep. So they go out there, and weird thing was that Matt and Mike came right out. But to me, when they told me this, I thought it was very weird because to me, I felt like Jennifer and Sarah were telling like, oh, they could only hear in their room. But then Matt and Mike told me that no, they could hear it in their room. They thought they were the only ones that could hear it because it was close by their bed. And so I was like, okay, is there like two things that are happening at once, or is it just one thing that just so is happening to everybody? So they both get up, they look everywhere, they go downstairs, they listen on the pipes, nothing. They're about to head upstairs, and then they hear it again. So, low rumble sound, growl, and stuff like that. And I said, because after about half hour of this happening, I got a notification that, hey, someone's trying to FaceTime you. So I clicked it on, and they're like, hey, something is happening. I was like half asleep. I was like, what's happening? And they're like, hey, something. I was like, oh. So I got what was like quarter into sleep. Wasn't halfway, like half, dead asleep, but quarter way there. And they're like, I said, so what's happening? So they tell me, I'm like, and I repeat what I just told you guys, that, wait, so it sounded like it was coming from both of your beds, but you guys are across from each other. Yeah, in two totally different rooms. I'm like, okay, that's weird. I said, when was the last time it happened? And they said 5 minutes ago. So when I was on there, nothing really happened. So I got off again. As soon as I got off, it's the next day. We all FaceTime, talk about weird things, and it doesn't happen that night. So the next night, they can't FaceTime because they're busy, so they get home late one night, and happens again. So I'm like, so they're like, what the hell is that sound? So they check everywhere, and it's not the like growling sound that you would hear in a horror movie that would make you want to leave. It was just like kind of like when you're playing. It sounded like when you're playing a game and there's vibrations. That's what it kind of felt like. Kind of like on my NCAA 06 game, where if the crowd atmosphere is really, really, really loud, your controller will shake and vibrate. That's what it sounded like. So they're like, what the hell does it sound? So they put their ear to the wall. It doesn't sound like it's coming from the wall, because when they put their ear to the wall, it happens again. They put their ear next to the bed. It doesn't happen near there, but it happens like kind of like at the corner of the bed, as if something is like watching over them. It's obviously it's freaky, but yeah. But that night it just happens to Matt and Mike. Around a week later, it happens again, but this time just to Jennifer and Sarah. So now they are all like, okay, so tomorrow what they're going to do is they're just going to make sure no FaceTime, no nothing. They're just going to make sure at nighttime that they have their ears just peeled to whatever sound that they can hear and all that stuff, to see that they can recreate this at all. So it gets that time again, and it starts happening. But this time it happens to the both of them. So they open both of their doors and they hear it again. But this time it's like it's moving. So it sounds like the controller vibrating and shaking. And it's like they hear it right next to both of the doors, and now it's right in the middle of the hallway. So it's like it's moving. So they're like, what the hell is this sound? Because if you're thinking on a logical, it could be like house settling, or maybe like a car passing by or something like that. But it felt personal to this house. That's what I guess, yeah. So they're here for the next few weeks, and then for some reason it just stops. And this happened around 7-8 months ago. So it just stops for a few months, and then one night just starts up again. And for the next week, every single day for a week, it goes on and happens. So they do what I told them, and that is just tell them that, hey, hear you, can you please stop? They do that, and it does stop, but it only stops for that week. So it's been going on for once every few weeks now. Still don't know what it is. Still don't know if it's logical or paranormal or something like that. But that's what I'm here to tell you guys. Just paranormal things or something that you just can't explain. That's what these stories are for. So yeah, so that is it. So next week, do a new episode and go on from there. So make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later.